All right, so high jump film here. This athlete sent me this film.
We'll be back.
I'll play it
We'll
for a
be
second.
back. Y'all got this. Do you see money?
So a few things that I see here. Um, it's kind of hard to tell when I don't see the beginning of the approach. The first few steps of the approach are super important because that is what establishes the momentum of the whole jump. Um, in high jump, you do need speed to carry you from takeoff into the mat. It's not as great as like long jump, but because we have to run the curve, and the only way to run a curve is with tall, upright, bouncy posture, the first two, three, four steps, depending on how long your approach is, are what get you going. Because once you're on the curve, there's no accelerating anymore. We're in curve mode. We should be pushing the curve away, focusing on a preparation, setup and preparation for takeoff. So if you don't get the first few steps right, you pay the price somewhere along the curve. And I can't quite tell here if that was the case or not, but either way, let's continue. So one thing that I see is on her left foot, her inside, closer to the curve, inside of the curve foot, right there. She does a very hard turn right here, really across the body. Doesn't look super congruent with the posture in her upper body. See if I can draw a line there. Oh, not that. So we got leg there, posture kind of there. So we've got a little bit of a broken posture, which tells me that she's either initiating the curve on her inside leg, which you should turn on the curve on your outside leg, um, or it's just under established and she's taken like wide receiver cuts here. So you see that here, and then what's going to happen is if you don't establish the curve well on steps 4, 5, and 6, you're going to see it in step 8 right here if you're on a 10-step approach. This foot is pointed towards the camera. That is not the direction that she is traveling. So this tells me that there is some under establishment of the curve on steps 4, 5, and 6 because she's really overcorrecting here, as you can tell, because each footstep that you take in a good high jump approach should be pointed in the direction of the curve, and which should also be the same direction as your hips and shoulders. But she overcorrects here like crazy because she under established the curve in the beginning, and then her foot plant is parallel to the bar. So if you don't establish the curve well, that's going to cause this overcorrection on the 8th step, but also as you know, as we know, the forces that rotate you, the vertical rotation, the twisting of the lower back towards the bar, and then the horizontal rotation, the somersaulting over the bar, that is a result, direct result of your curve. That's the main thing. If you don't establish and run a good curve, you will not see this rotation, and it's not bad. Like she's an experienced high jumper, so she's able to figure it out. But you can just kind of tell that she is not riding the parabola over the bar. A really, really good high jumper who's run a really good curve, you'll see their body follow the parabola all the way over the over the bar. But here we don't see that. We see her start, but then she kind of just falls flat. That rotation stops over the bar. So most likely she didn't establish her curve quite right. It's possible that she could be drifting out to the right, as opposed to running towards her bottom check mark. She could be doing some steps where she's stepping across her body, or she's just overemphasizing the inside leg's role on the curve when she should be emphasizing the outside leg more to push the curve away.